Flock My Food Followers has returned. I'm glad that you found our next filming of another great recipe. This is another easy one, and I know that most of you prefer easy. Actually, I chose this one above a pasta recipe that I was really close to making. We'll do that in a couple weeks. But it took a little bit more time than what I wanted to put together with the short notice. This one is called tamale pie, or tamale loaf, as I grew up knowing it. And I suppose it kind of has, you think of tamales, you think of Mexico, so it kind of has that. It has the corn, it has so forth. But anyway, it's easy. It starts out with some oil and green pepper and onions, and I also put a little bit of garlic, chopped up, sauteed. Well, I did the saute part first. So it's already sauteed, it's in the kettle. We're gonna just put it right here into the bowl. Move this over so you can see the bowl. Good to the last drop. Get rid of the kettle. And then we're going to add some chili pepper. There's about a tablespoon of chili pepper in here. I'm going to stir it in. And then a couple teaspoons of salt. It's up to you if you want to put the full 2 teaspoons in, if you want to use regular table salt, or if you want to use pink salt, or the salt of your choice. And by the way, this is a half teaspoon, so that's why I'm putting 4. Don't want to oversalt it. That would not be good. Okay, going to stir this up. Mix it well. The original recipe said to put the chili powder and the salt in with the veggies as you're sauteing them. But I wanted you to see that I actually added it in. Yeah, it looks kind of funny color-wise. And then we're going to put everything else in, which includes tomatoes. You can either use whole tomatoes. I chose to get diced tomatoes, 2 cups of it. Again, you can either get low sodium or regular. Whole kernel corn. The recipe that I read that I thought, oh, this looks really good, said 1 can whole kernel corn. It's about 15 ounces. I thought, I drained it. I'm thankful that I drained it. So on the recipe that we'll put on the website, it is listed as a can, 15 ounces of drained corn. Otherwise, you'll have a wet mess. Stir it up. And of course, chopped olives. It says sliced olives, but you know what? It's easier to chop them up, either with a knife. We used a nut chopper. You know, one of those that go up and down. It was like, hey, this works. I didn't know if it would, but it does. Really cool. You could probably put it in your food processor also and hit the button a few times. If nothing else, this is colorful with the green and the red and the yellow and the black. And 1 cup of unsweetened soy milk. You could probably use almond milk, but that might change the flavor just a little bit. You could also use oat milk. I would just recommend that it be unsweetened, unflavored. Pour it in. And some cornmeal, just regular run-of-the-mill cornmeal. You might have your favorite brand. Put it in. And it also calls for a little bit of cornstarch. This will help to thicken it. Mix it good. Mix well, or as it says. The cornmeal wants to kind of get clumpy in here. Since it has the corn and the tomatoes, it's almost a one-dish meal. But I would say with a salad and maybe some greens or something on the side, this would be a great entree. And as you can see, it's easy. That's what I like. It's healthy, it's easy. And then we're going to put it into a loaf pan. You can also put this into a 9x9 square baking dish. It's just that I had used my baking dishes on something else and they weren't clean. So it's going into a loaf pan. And by putting it into a loaf pan, here's something you may think I'm really crazy about. Oh, you already knew I was. Once this is baked, you might be able to slice it and use it as a sandwich spread. Okay, this is going to go into the oven, 375 degrees, for about 45 minutes. Again, depending on your oven, you may need right at 45 minutes. You may want to go a little bit more. You just want to make sure that when you stick a knife down in the middle and pull it out, it isn't still soupy on the inside, and that will be a good indication. So just a minute, I'll put this in the oven. And of course, like any other time, I have one for you to see. Here we go. And it looks kind of funny. You know, I just had a thought. Well, I would maybe sprinkle some cornmeal on the top right before it bakes. I don't have enough cornmeal. I'm going to move this poor tomato, or this poor pepper, and scoop this out so you can see what it looks like. This one I made yesterday, so it's not quite as fresh. But there you go. Tamale loaf. Our cameraman's playing with the lights. An easy recipe that has vegetables and all sorts of goodies in it that you can make for an evening, for a weekend dinner. It's your choice. Let us know what you think about this recipe. Comment for us on YouTube or Facebook, and join us again next time. Okay? Thank you.